What if Africa was never colonized? Imagine a world where the African continent developed entirely on its own. No European empires, no artificial borders, no colonial rule. What would Africa look like today if colonization never happened? Would it be one of the most powerful regions on Earth? Or would history still find another way to reshape the continent? Part 1. Africa before colonization. Before Europeans arrived in large numbers, Africa was not an empty or undeveloped land. It was home to powerful civilizations. Empires like the Mali Empire controlled vast trade networks across West Africa. At its height, the Mali Empire became incredibly wealthy through gold and salt trade. Its famous ruler, Mansa Musa, is often considered one of the richest individuals in human history. Meanwhile, powerful kingdoms existed across the continent. The Kingdom of Benin built impressive cities and created advanced bronze artwork. Further east, the Ethiopian Empire remained one of the oldest continuous civilizations in the world. Africa was not isolated either. Trade routes connected African cities to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. One city in particular stood out. The legendary city of Timbuktu became one of the greatest centers of learning in the medieval world. Scholars traveled there to study mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. In many ways, Africa was already part of the global intellectual network. Part 2. The turning point. Everything began to change during the late 19th century. European powers competed fiercely to control African territory in a period known as the Scramble for Africa. Within just a few decades, almost the entire continent was divided among European empires. Borders were drawn without considering languages, cultures, or existing kingdoms. These colonial borders would later become the modern borders of many African nations. But what if that scramble never happened? Part 3. A different Africa. Without colonization, Africa might have evolved very differently. Powerful empires could have gradually transformed into modern states. Trade networks across the Sahara might have expanded into massive economic systems. Cities like Timbuktu could have become global universities, attracting scholars from across the world. Technological development might also have taken a different path. Instead of being shaped by colonial economies focused on resource extraction, African nations might have built stronger industrial systems. Natural resources such as gold, oil, and diamonds might have been controlled locally rather than exported for foreign profit. Part 4. Global power balance. If Africa had developed independently, the global balance of power might look very different today. The continent could potentially host several major economic powers. Its massive population and abundant resources might give it influence similar to countries like the United States or China. Global trade routes might run directly through African economic hubs. Major financial centers could exist in cities like Lagos, Nairobi, or Addis Ababa. Finally, history, however, unfolded in a different way. Colonialism reshaped borders, economies, and political systems across the continent. Yet the question remains fascinating. What if Africa had been allowed to follow its own path? Would it be one of the most powerful regions in the world today? Or would different challenges have emerged along the way? The truth is, alternate history reminds us how much the world can change because of a single turning point.